From Cochise College in Douglas, Arizona, this is Jeff Davenport live, hanging out with a few hundred of my closest friends as we await the Vice President of the United States. She is in Douglas as we speak. Just got done doing a border tour, or is finishing up the border tour, and is on her way to Cochise College, 10 miles outside of the city of Douglas, for an amazing press conference opportunity to speak to the voters of Cochise County and those that have come from all parts beyond. But there's only one person who is the Cochise County Democratic Party chair, and that is my friend Elizabeth Tyndall. Elizabeth, how are you?
I am fantastic.
Oh my gosh, thank you so much for talking to us today. This is the very first of hopefully a few videos that we'll be doing live before we go live with the coverage today. We've got so many people, literally news outlets from all across the country are here. How important is this for the Vice President to come down to the border?
So we are super excited that Vice President Harris is in Douglas today. For us, it demonstrates our commitment to communities just like ours. So very important, Jeff.
It really is. Now, we know that there's some other people that are going to be with Vice President Harris. That's Chris Mays. Tell us who Chris Mays is.
So Chris Mays is our Attorney General for the state of Arizona. They call her Landslide Mays because she won her election by only a couple hundred votes. And that is why your vote is very important. Never let anyone tell you that your vote is not important.
And that's something that's important for all of us to remember, because as we face when do the primary ballots come out, or the general election ballots are already in the mail, right?
So the overseas ones have been mailed, and our ballots will be mailed on October 9th.
Okay, so another week and a half, give or take.
Right.
So this is crunch time for all of these politicians, not just on the national level. We're talking about on the very local level too.
Absolutely.
And how positive are you right now about things that are going on with the Democratic Party in Cochise County? You have some amazing people who I genuinely admire, who are running for certain positions across the county. And what do you have to say about the enthusiasm and the way that things are going toward that November 5th election day?
Yeah, so as Jeff said, we have candidates running for Board of Supervisor District 1, that is Teresa Walsh, Board of Supervisors District 2, Joni Giacomoni, and Board of Supervisors District 3, Joy Banks, County Attorney Scott Eckstein, and of course for County Recorder Ann Carl. And all of those candidates are super excited. They're doing the work. They're asking for your vote, and they want your vote because they will offer responsible leadership for our county.
Elizabeth, being the chair of the Cochise County Democratic Party, what is it exactly does that entail?
So it's a lot of different things, and it looks different in different counties. So we are the liaison for the elections department for the county party. So we do poll observation. We're the ones that credential people for that. We submit names for the hand count volunteers. So that is really like our most important jobs, protecting our democracy and protecting the vote. But then, like when you're a small county party like us, like I do a lot of fundraising, I do a lot of events.
You voice radio commercials?
Yes, exactly, yes. So, I mean, pretty much, if it needs to be done, we'll do it.
Well, and it's exciting to see parties moving and things happening. And again, this is a momentous day. It has been 3 years, I believe, give or take, since Vice President Harris has come to a border. I think last time she was in Texas. Here, this is her first time to an Arizona border, so we're excited to have her here today.
We are ecstatic, and it looks like it is time for us to start. Thank you, everyone. Don't forget to vote. Mail in your ballot as soon as you get it, or vote on Election Day. Thank you.
Thank you, Elizabeth Tyndall, Cochise County Democratic Party Chair. Great to see you. Thank you so much for being here. And they're doing a sound check right now. They're just getting sound checks for the cameras as some of these cameras here are getting ready to go live at Cochise College Gymnasium. I have called so many games inside this very building. I've never seen it look like this.
I know. I was going to say, it looks unrecognizable.
It really is. There's Ann English, Board of Supervisor, right there in the front. We love Ann. Ann is absolutely incredible. She is stepping. This is her last time or last few weeks as a Board of Supervisor, but it's always great to see her at events like this. Every time I come to Douglas and MC an event, she is always there. She is a great representative of this district for our county, and she will very much be missed when when the new elections and the new folks get elected into the Board of County Supervisors. I see Teresa Walsh. We just talked about her. Teresa Walsh is all the way across on the other side of the room, standing next to Ann Carl. Teresa is in the blue shirt, or the teal shirt. Now she's being blocked by somebody, but in a teal shirt all the way across. She is running for Board of Supervisors District 1. Ann Carl is the Democratic nominee for Cochise County Recorder over there. I'm just trying to give you an idea of who is here. It is literally a who's who, but take a look at all these cameras over here. These are news outlets literally from across the country and around the world are here as they're doing sound checks right now for the mics to make sure that every single camera will get the feed that they need. And you can see how it's set up. I mean, this is absolutely incredible being here for an event like this. Very similar to a couple of weeks ago where Todd and I were on two different sides of the county for the 45th President of the United States when he came to Cochise County. Now it is Vice President Harris's turn. It's Jeff Davenport live, and we are live in Cochise College Gymnasium waiting for everything to happen as the sound check is going on. I see representatives from the city of Douglas here. My friends from the city of Douglas are here. Jennifer Smith, my good friend. I'll see if Jennifer can come over. I'm not sure. She might. We'll see if she can come over. Ann English is right there. She might be sitting with Ann. I don't know. Let's see. Jennifer! Let's see if Jennifer wants to come. We'll see if she wants to talk. She's with the city of Douglas. And being a part of something like this is absolutely incredible. We are here live.
And this is an invitation-only event,
yes.
Jeff.
Right.
So if somebody's watching this...
Right. When you see people like the mayor of Sierra Vista, you see Ralph Robles from the Douglas Business Network, the DBN. I couldn't think of the name of it for a second, but I'm looking at him right there. You see... there's the mayor. Let me see if the mayor can come over. I don't know if the mayor can see me. Maybe if I give him... a light signal or something. I'll grab my light.
Yeah,
here we go. There's Ralph Robles right there. Come on over, Ralph. You want to talk? Yeah, come on over. And grab the mayor. Grab the mayor. No, I'm not pointing at him. There's so many people here. This is absolutely awesome. And Todd and I did get our press badges here for this event, which is really neat to have. Again, this is a moment in history. This is a moment that we want to bring to you, just like we did with the other things. Let me wave over at Clea and see if the mayor, Mr. Mayor, the mayor of Sierra Vista, will come over and say hi. Because again, we're live here. We're just waiting to see who's going to talk to us next. I did send a text message to our sheriff, who I assume was with Vice President Harris. I can only assume he was with Vice President Harris along the border, or knows who was with her. I did see Dr. Sean Phillips from Canyon Vista Medical Center here, President J.D. Rottweiler. Mr. Mayor! Clea! Here he comes. Well, maybe he won't. He had to say hi to all these people. He's got to say hi to people. We're right here, Mr. Mayor. Mr. Mayor, we're right here. We're right here, Mr. Mayor. It's Jeff Davenport Live, man. How are you? Oh, my goodness. It is the Sierra Vista Mayor, Clea McCall, here at this. This is a historic day, sir. Talk about something like this when we get a presidential nominee who is the sitting Vice President of the United States to come here to Cochise College to do a rally like this, invitation only, press credentials necessary to put something like this together.
It's amazing.
What have you done today? Did you end up seeing her and spending time with her yet?
Yeah, actually, the sheriff and I and Mayor Hewish,
the Douglas mayor,
Supervisor Ann English,
yes,
and the AG Chris Mays. Chris Mays had a sit down with her about an hour ago at the Douglas Airport, talking about border security, talking about how we're going to engage this. Sheriff just laid out his plan, what needs to happen with our fentanyl, with our load cars, the ones that want to evade law enforcement. So he laid out the plan. She committed to it, and she said, "Let's go forward." So
What was that like being in that room? I mean,
Wow.
I know that you're a very powerful person, but you get to be in the room with the sitting Vice President of the United States. You get to be in the room, obviously, with our friend Sheriff Mark Daniels, who I'll be spending time with. We'll be spending time with tomorrow night at the Dine Under the Stars event for the University of South Foundation, and then with Ann English, who we all love. We all love Ann, and then Chris Mays. Being able to lay out something like that about the border and the importance of it on the national level, getting that kind of national attention. How did it feel being in that room?
It was surreal. When the sheriff started talking, it's so fluid to him. But when he really started talking, she was really engaged. She engaged him eye to eye and she committed to him and said, "Let's make this work." So it was very encouraging. It was very enlightening, but it was surreal for the sitting vice president just to be in the same room.
So did you get a photo with her?
I got a photo of her.
Okay.
I didn't do my normal selfies.
I was going to say I'll be looking for that on your social media, man. Come on. No, that's what an awesome opportunity to be able to do, and again to be able to share on a national level what it's like for us here in a border community.
First time in Douglas ever.
Yeah.
A sitting VP comes down to Douglas, Arizona. Cochise College. I mean,
how many times have we been inside this building? It never looks like this, huh?
Never.
I've never seen it like this, ever before.
When I walked in, I was like, wow.
I know, that's the same thing I said when I walked in. I thought, this is not the same gym. Are we in the right place?
This is not the same gym.
This is incredible.
And
hats off to Cochise College for preparing this location. Hats off to President J.D. Rottweiler.
Yes.
And was he in the meeting as well? Or
no, he wasn't in the meeting. He was sitting here.
He was holding his seat.
Yeah, hats off to all our law enforcement,
Yes.
Cochise County Service Police Department, Douglas Police Department, HSI, all those state police, all those law enforcement agencies, federal, state, and county that came together just to make sure the security of the building, the security of the town, just to make sure everything is point on point. Hats off to Sheriff Daniels, who's around here somewhere.
Yeah.
But everybody's working together. Hats off to all the mayors, our coalition of mayors puts in. Oh man,
Somebody fall? Did somebody fall?
I thought it was a sound coming from like a speaker or something.
Yeah, I heard a loud thump, and apparently somebody.
It is very dark over here. There's not a whole lot of light, so
Yeah.
So we're contacting EMS right now. But
Yeah.
Is she all right? We see some blood.
Yeah, she bumped her head. She just bumped her head. She'll be okay.
She'll be okay.
But
hats off to all those individuals.
yeah, and hats off to the people here taking care of folks.
Thank you.
And I want to say
EMTs.
something too, because somebody was saying in comments that you weren't here for Trump, but you actually were.
Actually.
In fairness, we want to. Can you clarify that with folks?
Yeah, let me clarify that. I was there for Trump. The sheriff, it's a trio: the sheriff, the chief of police, and myself. We wasn't at the airport because the Secret Service didn't want us there due to logistics. So we was at the border, and we received President Trump at the border. So yes, I was at the border. We received President Trump. It was me, the sheriff, and chief of police, Chris Heisman.
Just wanted to clarify that.
That's good. It's good to make sure that that's out there because that is the truth. That is the truth from the person who was there and saw it himself. Mayor Clea McCaw hanging out here with a couple of hundred of our closest friends and media members. All the fake news is here, even me. So I mean, look, the kid and me. Look, I'm here too. We just talked to Elizabeth Tyndall, the head of the Cochise County Democratic Party chair, and how excited she is about having something like this. Obviously, no matter what side of the aisle you're on, this is an historic occasion, and that's the most important thing that we want to recognize and share with the people.
Yes, and I thank y'all for coverage because y'all are out to 22,000, 30,000 people, and y'all are covering this from day one. J.D. Vance, former President Trump, and now the VP. We're waiting for Waltz.
Yeah, why not?
Right, exactly.
He's got to be next, right?
Yeah,
I mean, there's still a handful of weeks before this whole thing gets wrapped up.
Then you got 41 days.
Right. So I mean, we're excited about this. We're excited to be here, and definitely glad that you're watching. I know you got to go get your seat. Take a seat here. But we got to get a I got to get myself in with you, man.
Yeah.
With all this in the background here. We'll have Todd take the photo. We'll have Todd take the photo.
Mayor Clea McCaw with the city of Sierra Vista. Some people asking who's talking. Well, just thought I'd let you know.
Mr. Mayor.
All right, here we go. Give me a smile, guys. Here we go. All right.
Can you see the stuff in the background? Make sure you see the background.
Yeah. Okay. I think that's better. I got a few pics.
Awesome. I'm sure one of those will be great.
Yeah, I'm going to send it to you right now. So, you know, reception is good. The reception.
Are you on the Wi-Fi?
No. Oh.
They have college Wi-Fi. There's a big secret. There's Wi-Fi here at Cochise College that I use. Yeah. So when you go to your settings, it is called College User, and you just tap a button and you're there. So that's what it is. Get on the Wi-Fi, and because maybe not as many people know about it. It might be a little slow because all these people, I'm sure all these people know. But we'll see what happens. Thank you so much, Mr. Mayor. Mayor Clea McCall, the Sierra Vista Mayor, talking to us. He's answering a phone right now, answering a call as we speak. And I should have gotten a selfie with him on my phone. What am I doing, Todd? Making you do that?
Yeah,
How dare I do that? I'm so sorry. As if you aren't doing enough here. How's it going, man? Good to see you. Good to see you. Again, I'm not sure where we're looking as a time frame. 3:30. They said that no one else would be allowed in at 3:30. That would be it. So. We are making room for a lady who ended up falling here. It is very dark over on this side. I'm not sure if she's with the press. She is. So a stretcher will be coming through. A stretcher is coming through to help a lady who ended up falling just a few moments ago. But as we're keeping the camera on the stage, you are looking live at the Cochise College Gymnasium. And it has never looked like this before. The mayor of Sierra Vista and I both agree that I cannot recall a time that this gym had this kind of look here. It is pretty wild and an historic occasion. The very first time the vice president has been to the border in Arizona, and the first time that she's visited a border, according to my sources, since 2021 when she went to Texas and was on the border in Texas. But she could have come at another time. Please let us know in the comments if you know of other times that she's visited the border area. Probably not in Arizona. I'm pretty sure this is the first Arizona trip here. And that's why we're here. And you can see the most important message that is all around this room is about border security and stability. Obviously, as Mayor Clea McCall said, Sheriff Mark Daniels, State Attorney Chris Mays, and let's see here. I took my notes. Oh, and Ann English, Board of Supervisor for this district, Ann English. We're in a meeting with the Vice President after she landed. They met at the airport, met with her. He said for about an hour, right? Isn't that what he said, Tom? It was an hour-long meeting where Sheriff Mark Daniels, our Cochise County Sheriff, was able to lay out the plan for the border and being able to let the Vice President know that these are the important issues. And you can obviously tell that she knows the exact issue that is here on the border is border security and stability, hence the signs on the wall behind us here at Cochise College. We're waiting for a lady who ended up falling, an elderly lady who fell down some stairs where it's very dark over here. And they did get a gurney out. They're going to be wheeling her out of here in just a moment. As soon as they load her up, I think they're still patching up the bump that she had on her head. She is conscious. She appears to be doing fine. There's 2 EMTs and a third getting ready to wheel the injured person out of here. That kind of stinks, Todd. You know, you come all the way here, you wait in line. Who knows how long she had to wait? I don't know if she's with the press. I didn't see if she has a press pass.
Usually people on this side.
Yeah, usually the people.
Yeah, she's with the press.
She's with the press. Oh my goodness, you know. So you get
this is the press area.
You get everything coordinated. You get everything ready, and then when I walked in here, I actually had to wait for my eyes to adjust. I actually pulled my cell phone out to turn the light on because it took a minute for my eyes to actually adjust to the way the lighting is in here. Obviously, it's TV lighting. Again, this whole rigging across the top. That's absolutely incredible that they have that light rig going across the top. I don't know how long it took Cochise College to put this together, but again, hats off to our good friends here at Cochise College in Douglas. And
this is the darkest I've ever seen it in here.
Yeah.
Because normally, you come into the gym, it's so bright, you almost need sunglasses. But obviously a special occasion, so.
Well, without a doubt. And the lady who is injured is standing. They do have her head wrapped. Her head is wrapped. She is standing and conscious and talking to the EMTs. She's probably telling them, no, I can't leave. I'm here with the press. I've got a story to do.
All the major networks are here.
And us.
And us. Well, we're major, I guess.
Are we a major
Why not?
network? Let
Let's
us know in
call
the
ourselves
comments.
major.
Please, let us know in the comments and tell Todd that he is a major network.
Yeah,
please tell him that. He needs it. He needs it for his encouragement. It's been a long week today for all of us.
Yes.
Not just a long week, but a long week today. So many of our friends here. I see Sarah Pacheco, former Sierra Vista City Council person, is here, along with her husband and her husband Jake, and her kids are here as well. I saw them. It is a who's who of who's here. It's absolutely incredible. And again, we are looking at 3:40 p.m. Supposedly the doors were going to shut at 3:30. There was going to be no one else let in after 3:30 p.m. Still looking to see. I don't know where they put the injured lady. The injured lady.
She disappeared.
Oh, she's not. She's not. Yeah, she's not here.
She's a reporter?
She must be. I mean, she had a press pass. So, I mean, if she had the press pass, I assume she's some sort of reporter or some sort of journalist from somewhere, or she has a TikTok channel. And, is famous for that. I don't know.
Do you know when Kamala is supposed to speak?
The Vice President, Todd.
The Vice President.
And it's Kamala.
Kamala.
You are correct about that. Should be in the next hour or so.
Well, next hour.
For sure.
Was she going to have a warm-up act? Did she need a warm-up act? I'm ready to go.
I bet you are. I'm actually not 100% sure. I'm looking, by the way.
I'm Jeff Davenport. Nice to meet you. Nice to see you, man. Thanks so much for everything that you guys are doing
Yeah,
here.
yeah, absolutely.
Again, obviously helping out the injured and overseeing that and getting everybody situated in here. What has the experience been like for you here at Cochise College?
It's been great. Really loved it. Yeah.
Awesome.
I got to.
All right.
Awesome.
Yeah,
no worries.
He's got to do his job.
He's got the earpiece on.
Yeah, he's got. It's
wasn't
stop talking to the press.
I wasn't sure if he wanted to talk, so I thought if he's standing here, I may as well ask him a useful question.
Well, yeah. I didn't even know he was with.
Now they're marking off. The EMTs are marking off actually where she tripped, just to see if there is a loose stair or something like that. There is a representative from News Nation. I can't remember her name. It's Allie, or let me see if I might have her phone number. And I can tell you exactly who she is, and then maybe we can talk to her.
Oh, yeah, I wonder,
No,
Jeff, if we can get up on. Do we want to? Well, this is actually a pretty good view here. If we get up on the stage,
if we go over
it's
here
too far over that way, maybe. Unless you
if
think.
we get on the riser, we'd have a great shot right there, sitting right in the front. You know, nobody unless there's going to be people lining up to where that camera is. There is a question about this. Let's let the. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much. We love our EMTs. We love our law enforcement. We love all of our first responders. We're grateful for all of them and grateful that they are here with us today.
As you can hear somebody doing a report in the back of us.
Yeah, I know. Let me go get the lady from News Nation, because she's met with Sheriff Mark.
Okay.
Hey.
Go ahead.
And here we are. This is a Cool FM Live on Facebook. Introduce yourself to everyone, by the way.
All right, I'm Allie Bradley. I am the border reporter for News Nation. Have been covering nothing but the border, except
For how many
a few
years?
hurricanes here and there. 3.5 years.
Allie, now watching a border like this from a journalist standpoint, what are things that you see as being important that you hope that Vice President Harris would address to this crowd here today?
Well, obviously, a lot of the issues that she wants to direct it towards are the failed Senate bill issues, right? That's something Sheriff Mark Daniels here openly talks about as a problem. He said, we're not even included in that border bill. The national sheriffs opposed that bill. They don't want that. Yet Kamala Harris says, when I get to be president, I'm going to make that bill law, right? So Sheriff Daniels is saying, we don't want that bill. So when you see these things transpire and you're seeing thousands of people pour across the border still every day, despite the narrative and the conversations, I hope that she comes down here and offers people hope in Cochise County, because for 3.5 years, the people living in this community have felt this. I've seen it. I lived nearby and came down to the border weekly and worked very closely with the sheriff for a long time. And I've been on many ride-alongs. And it's a problem. Just this morning, 3 minutes away, I was out where Border Patrol were pulling 2 guys over out of the bushes that just jumped the wall illegally, right? Literally a 3-minute drive from where we're standing.
Wow.
Was this morning. So the problems persist down here. So I hope that she offers hope. I hope that when she goes back to D.C., that she agrees to what Sheriff Daniels wants, and that is that open line of communication, and that she agrees to work together, state, local, and federal, to get this handled. Because it doesn't matter if you tamp down on asylum seekers, you guys are still seeing people evading. That's what you are as a county. You're a county that's a got-away county. You got people in camo from head to toe, and single adult men jumping in cars, getting in pursuits, killing people in your community. So 3.5 years later, she finally kind of accepts the invitation, if you will, 39 days ahead of the election.
Do you think it had to do with the 45th president of the United States being here about a month? When was that, Todd? A month and a half ago? We covered that as well on this.
So there's a lot of conversations, right? Why Douglas? Why Cochise County? It's a Republican county. It's not really support.
You'd be surprised by being here, though. Right? I mean, there's definitely a lot of support for her.
Absolutely, but you run by a mayor that is a Republican, a sheriff that is Republican, but you go a couple miles east or west and you got Democrats on both sides.
Right.
So why Cochise? Well, the conversation here is that she wants to match what Trump and Vance did, because she doesn't want to go back to D.C. and be told, you didn't go to the problem area, you didn't go to where they need you, you just did another photo op. So it's kind of a match, right? And so she's saying, look, I'm in a Republican-controlled county. I'm down here where the problem is. And I think that that's the play here, is that she's showing this kind of bipartisan, almost, we are going to work together, despite ignoring the invitations for 3.5 years, right? So you see that. But what's interesting is she goes to the port, right, to talk about the fentanyl seizures.
Okay.
Nogales, dude. Nogales had 43 million pills last year alone. And it has up to, I think, 32 million right now. Why would you go to the Douglas port when the Nogales port is the one that's seeing this massive flow of fentanyl and seizing that? So that is interesting to me, and that's why I do believe that this is a county match, right? Because if she would have went over there and she's supported by the Democrats, then people might come back and say, well, that wasn't fair. That wasn't apples to apples, right? And so I think that's what this trip to Douglas is for. But we did at News Nation, and I know you guys did too, covered the drop-offs, the street releases. A lot of people didn't know this was happening. Thousands of people were shipped into this area, and they were processed and released to your streets. They were picked up by school buses, transported north to Tucson and to Phoenix, to Casalitas and to the International Rescue Mission, right? And so that's what we saw down here for months. And that is on top of the evading issue and the 2 to 10 pursuits a day that you guys were dealing with at the peak. So it'll be interesting to see this. What I'm hearing from law enforcement down here and city leaders, community leaders, is that mixed emotion, right? Thank you for coming down and spotlighting our community and bringing hope, hopefully. But it took a long time.
You can see. This is Allie Bradley, by the way, with News Nation, the border reporter, and has been following this story for years, literally years. That's why I wanted to talk to her here on Jeff Davenport Live. The message is clear. The messaging here, you walk in, it says border security and stability all around this room, all around that stage.
But that message has only been the message since June, if that. So I don't know how you felt walking in here, but I walked in here and I was like, am I at a Trump rally? Like, that's not consistent with what we've heard for 3.5 years. So it's hard, right? Because that's the messaging that's going out to America. And they're like, okay, they're tough on the border.
Right.
They're not. They were hands off. And people need to know, for the first 2 years of this administration, the Democrats control Congress. They didn't negotiate a border bill. So that's the reality, right? And now, right now, you have them trying to move the needle, and it's working. And the good thing is, Border Patrol's back in the field. So Border Patrol is working. We saw them this morning working, right? So that is the, I guess, silver lining of this, because they move the numbers, so the illegal crossings are down. So Border Patrol is back in the field. But that doesn't mean that we're seeing fewer people enter the country.
Right. Now, looking at I guess this morning or early this afternoon, when the vice president landed, we did get confirmation from the Sierra Vista mayor that the Sierra Vista mayor, Cleo McCall, Cochise County Sheriff Mark Daniels, our friend, the Ann English, the board of supervisor, and Chris Mays, the state attorney, were all with the vice president at an hour-long meeting. Did you get any reports on that, or what came out of that?
Not yet.
Okay.
Not reconvened with the sheriff yet, but I was told that she gave him a challenge coin and he gave her a letter. Let me grab that.
Oh yeah, please do. This is Allie Bradley. This is a real journalist, legit journalist for News Nation.
So we got the letter that Sheriff Daniels gave to Kamala Harris, and in it you can see right here, your visit comes with mixed emotions and reviews as it relates to a border in turmoil and the lack of timeliness. So this is the letter that he provided, and included in the letter is the National Sheriff's Alliance Immigration and Border Security propositions, what they want to see happen, right?
Okay.
And again, they didn't want the border bill because they said, number one, we're not involved in it, so that breaks the whole we're working together idea.
Yeah.
But also they said it takes away the judicial power and it gives it back to the administrative. And he said, and they want us to trust an administration that's been absent. And he said, we weren't comfortable with that. And that's why they opposed the bill. And so they want change. They want positive change for their community, but also for the migrants in a legal and safe pathway. I think all Americans do. So it'll be interesting to see what she can bring to the table and what it looks like. What we do expect is that she's going to talk about being even tougher with the executive action that over Biden. So she's even talking about bringing that threshold even lower to lift that shutdown.
Is she not forced to do that at this point? I mean, she really has to.
I mean,
in order to address this issue with border security and stability, right?
Well, yes and no, because she could say it's working. The numbers are the lowest that they've been, and continue what they're doing.
Okay.
But she's doubling down, right? And she's saying, we're going to do more. We're going to go harder on border security. So, like I said, that is not necessarily consistent with the last 3.5 years, but now that she has a chance to actually make change and not be on the sidelines, because we know vice presidential, that element doesn't have a lot of say.
Right.
So it'll be interesting to see what she does with that power if she does win, because she did have the authority to make moves on the border for the last 3.5 years. People the borders are a term I don't use, because there isn't documents that named her that. Republicans and media called her that. No one corrected us. No one corrected anyone until she was running for president. And then they said, wait. She didn't have that responsibility. But here's the deal. She was tapped at dealing with the root causes and the issues of irregular migration in Central America, Northern Triangle, and Mexico. We have 160 plus nationalities represented at our southern border. Where do you think they traversed through to get to our southern border? The vice president's area of operation, if you will.
Yeah.
They had to go through the Northern Triangle and Mexico to get to us. So how can you say that you didn't have a hand in what happened? How can you say that wasn't your responsibility, that you were just responsible for Mexico? And Mexico was giving out visas for transit to our southern border. They were not humanitarian live and work in Mexico visas. They were marked transito for 40 days so you could bypass the checkpoints and get to our border. They were literally like Disneyland Fast Pass that Mexico was doing. So they were not helping us. And so what did that partnership look like? And then, that executive action came. Now we're seeing Mexico do their job. This morning, the Mexican police were rolling that border hard. You didn't see anybody jumping the border this morning. At the end, we saw some that were in the bushes,
obviously something happened. So.
Somebody made it through a hole during shift change, and that's what it is.
Okay.
They do shift change games, and so that's when that was happening.
As if they don't know when that's coming, It's like you think that
you would think the border patrol would stagger it or something. But hey, cartels don't have OSHA, or they have work requirements, or certain time frames they can only work. They can work whenever they want, and they can do whatever they want. They've got $13 billion a year to do it, my friend.
You've been in such dangerous situations along the border. I mean, I've watched your reporting. I follow you on Instagram, by the way, Allie Bradley from News Nation. You can follow her on all of her social medias, and of course, check out News Nation every day, every night, and you can see her reporting live from the border. So many years, literally years. The information that she is saying is seen from firsthand experience. She knows what this is.
I live at the border.
Exactly.
I live here. I live in Del Rio, Texas right now. I was living in Arizona. So it's not like I'm parachuting in.
Right.
There's nobody down at the border right now. Right now they are. They parachuted in. But, right now is arguably the most important time to be telling border stories, because the men and women on the front lines down here tell you the fight is not over, things are not fixed, but everyone has retreated off of the border. And so, News Nation hasn't. We're still going to fight. We're still going to give you the truth. Might be boring truth sometimes, because very black and white statistics and facts. But hopefully you can arm yourself with that information and vote accordingly.
And that is exactly why we're here. That's exactly why we want to talk to everybody and get a better understanding, so that way our vote can be an informed vote. An informed vote is the best vote you can make. We always want you just to vote, but an informed vote is something even better, where you vote your heart. All these people here, there is a great majority of them wearing the Harris Walls shirts and hats and supporting the vice president on her presidential march to November 5th. But in the meantime, there is the side that sees things a little bit differently. And do you see the toxic level of banter back and forth between the sides? Isn't it just nice to be able to get along with people, though? Isn't it nice to come here? Like, I have Republican friends, I have Democrat friends, I have independent friends. It's kind of nice to have that and know that maybe it's the fringes that are making noise. So,
like we used to, where we used to reach across the aisle without being called a rhino and have conversations that were hard, and you didn't lose friends just because maybe you didn't see things exactly the same. But that is, unfortunately, the divide continues to grow, right? Each side pouring gasoline on the fire.
How do we fix that? Allie, you've been you're a journalist. You're a legit journalist. You're a legit journalist.
Gosh, that is like an age-old question.
What is the way to bring people
together? What is the secret to happiness, though? What is the way to bring people together?
It's Allie Bradley.
Kamala is on her way, we are told. So I just got that
Exciting.
word. So she's on her way here. Should be here any
Well,
minute.
then wrap us up
I would
here.
say what the most important thing, and what I have tried to from the beginning, and what's hard is when you cover the border, you're automatically cast over on the right because it's a left administration. If Trump were in and I was covering this, I'd be on the left, right? So it doesn't matter. My mission has always been, and why I stay with News Nation, was black and white. What are the statistics? What are the facts? Have reasonable and responsible conversations. Don't get wild. Don't get sensational. Have hard conversations. Communicate and debate with people and say, what do you think about this? And I've always maintained that with even Sheriff Daniels and I have conversations about this. If you scream about it and you go and look at this and this is crazy and they're coming into a city near you, we don't reach both sides.
Right.
So how can we ever move forward as a nation together? You cannot, you're isolating. So responsible, reasonable conversations can move us forward, can get us into maybe a positive space, and we've probably got to separate immigration from national security because they're not mutually exclusive.
Right.
That might be important.
Right.
Because they're making these compromises neither side seems to like. So maybe separate them, make money, put money aside for immigrants who deserve a better life, and put money aside for border stuff. It seems simple, but
it's so simple, Allie.
Why is it? Anything to argue about? Because Social Security isn't a thing like that.
No, of course not.
To argue about if they don't have the border.
That's true.
Both sides want the problem more than they want.
But we know that you're keeping an eye on the border through News Nation. Allie Bradley,
Yeah,
Todd, you have to get a picture of me. You got to get a picture of us.
Right.
I know, exactly.
All right,
Allie
all
Bradley
right,
hanging out
here
with
we
Jeff
go.
Davenport right here.
There it is.
All right.
It's on live.
Okay.
Hey,
Awesome.
thanks, guys.
Thank you so
Thank
much,
you.
Allie.
Take
Thank
care.
you. We'll talk to you soon.
Absolutely.
Allie Bradley from News Nation, who has been covering the border for literally for years. She has been with ride-alongs innumerable times with the Cochise County Sheriff, Mark Daniels. Todd, you want to go find a good spot
Let's see if
over
we can
here
get a little
somewhere?
higher.
If you want to sneak in between this gentleman here and possibly the watch your step. And we can sit with our legs.
Honestly, yeah.
You can ask people too. They can have some of yours. Number two. If you sit like right here, we're not anybody's way, or we could stand up against the back wall. But I mean, right here, it's kind of an unobstructed view. Oh my gosh, Todd.
Perfect.
You get a picture? You're pretty good with the camera. I see you sitting with cameras, and you have a press there. Thank you so much. Thank you, sir. Wow. So again, you can actually get a great view of the people who are here. I would say easily.
Just kind of recap.
Some good friends of mine here. I mean, again, you can't throw a rock without hearing. How are you? Are you okay? Okay. All right. You got your camera? Can you still work it? Okay. I'm just making sure. The lady who ended up falling on the stairs over here, she's 2 rows behind us, and just making sure that she is okay. I was going to look and see where Ann English was sitting. I always love Ann. I love talking to Ann. But again, if the vice president is on her way, then we don't want to get in the way of that. We want to make sure that we're just ready to get it rolling. Because we're coming up toward the top of the hour.
Yeah.
It is almost the 4 o'clock hour here in Douglas, Arizona. If you're just joining us, you are looking live at the Cochise College Gymnasium. It is Cool FM Live. Jeff Davenport in front of the camera. Todd Ryan, the creator of Cool FM Online, Cool FM Live, all of that behind the camera, making sure that we have this event covered for you today. A historic event here in Douglas, here at Cochise College. Just getting a text making sure that, that's the mayor texting me the photo of us that Todd took, which looks glorious, by the way. Thank you, Todd, for doing that.
And recap of who is here, because someone was asking who is here from Cochise County. Well, obviously, most of these are invited guests from Cochise County.
Yeah, we're all these people. I'd say the people who are not from Cochise County are maybe journalists, and then everybody on Media Row back here. They're not from Cochise County, but again, we have the mayor of Sierra Vista. I saw Ann English. I'm sure that Mayor Donald Hewish, the mayor of Douglas, will be here. I saw his wife. I see Dr. Sean Phillips from Canyon Vista Medical Center. I see, oh my gosh, Phil Garcia is calling me from La Casita. Let me see what Phil says. Hey Phil, what's going on?
I'm all right. How are you doing?
Yeah, oh my gosh, yeah, I remember that was coming up.
We are waiting the arrival of Kamala Harris. Coming soon, hopefully. We were told that she is on her way here about 10 minutes ago, so all depends, I guess, where she was coming from, how soon she actually gets here, but she's on her way.
That's great, Phil. Well, you just keep resting up. I mean, how long is physical therapy going to last for? Okay. All right. Okay. You want me to go talk? That's why you're so sore. It's because you're probably overworking. So, oh my goodness. I'm actually here. So actually, if you turn on Cool FM Live right now on the Facebook, I'm talking to La Casita owner Phil Garcia, giving you some free plugs here on Cool FM. So. Oh, no worries. No, I always take a call from you, my friend. So great to hear from you, and keep resting up. And if there's anything I can do for you and Anita, please let me know. Okay. Okay. Love you. Thanks, man. Always love taking phone calls from my friend Phil Garcia. He and Anita have run the legacy business La Casita in Sierra Vista on the west side of Fry Boulevard.
That's how you know it's an important event.
Would you like to say some words? Jose, how are you? You feeling good?
I'm
City councilman here in Douglas and the future mayor of Douglas, Arizona, right here. This makes sense that you would be at an event like this. How exciting is it to have something of this caliber here inside Cochise College, where you went to school, where I've been? We've been here for games and events. I've never seen it look like this before. So
I mean, it's a great environment. It's the first time I think we've had a sitting vice president here. It has nothing to do with parties. It has nothing to do with campaigning. This is big for Douglas. Now Washington is basically paying attention to us. Sometimes we feel like we're lost in the shuffle. Washington is here right now, so hopefully they can see our surroundings at new port of entry. I'm excited.
And Jose Grijalva, when we talked to you, I actually was blessed to be able to moderate the debate that you had right before the election that was going on, and seeing the vision come together of knowing what you will be doing for this community moving forward as you step into the mayor's office. You see the national stage with big words, border security and stability, the port of entry. That was a huge topic of discussion when we talked about the debate. How is that going to continue making this community stronger by having that strong and secure border?
Communication. We have to have a constant, clear communication with Washington. It just can't be when we need something. Now that we have this here, we got to keep it up.
And again, having the Vice President of the United States. Did you get a chance to meet the Vice President?
Oh, no, I'm not that important.
Oh, stop. You're going to be the mayor. No, come on, man. Now, how is the communication with the rest of the city council staff right now? Is there a transition time underway, or will that take place as soon as Mayor Hewish exits the office and you take the oath?
Little by little. I mean, the big picture stuff, we're already talking about community center. That's already on the table, one of the campaign promises. So, I mean, I'm not a politician. Everything I can do in the 4 years, and then if I could return to a normal life, that'd be great.
Is that what you're looking at? I mean, is it just to put in the 4 years and try to do as much as you can? Or, I mean, what happens if you end up being successful and the city really wants you to continue on?
If my residents want me to keep going, I'll keep going.
I love that. Jose Grijalva, so great to see you, man.
I was going to ask him one quick question. Port of entry, can you give us an update on the construction of that? Because there's confusion on that from some people when I talk to them.
I just got from our finance guy that the bid was probably already awarded, or from what I understand. So it's coming.
Yeah, because the money it was already awarded. The money was awarded, and now it just comes down to receiving it and then dispersing it to be used for the port of entry. And how is it going to expand? Do you know the exact plans of expansion for it to be able to?
I've been out of the loop because I had to resign in April to run for mayor, so I've been out of the loop on that.
Okay.
But I mean, it's exciting. That's why I'm trying to get little by little back into it, so I can know what's going on, and then we can move forward.
Well, and I know Douglas will be moving forward in a great way with great people like you, and of course Mark Murmis again. You know, people who are big personalities and they care about this community. They're passionate, you know, and that's what we love. We love people who are passionate about our community, and you embody that spirit, sir. Thank you so much, Jose Grijalva, future mayor of Douglas, Arizona. Good to see you, sir. We'll let you take your seat. But again, it is a who's who of who's here at Cochise College in Douglas, Arizona, inside the gymnasium. You are looking live. It is 4:05, and it's Jeff Davenport live on Cool FM Live here today, as we are excited to see the arrival of the Vice President of the United States. She has been here in town for the last several hours. Again, we talked to Sierra Vista Mayor Clea McCaw, who was in the room with Cochise County Sheriff Mark Daniels, with Board of Supervisor Ann English, and the State Attorney Chris Mays. And they were all in the room as Sheriff Mark laid out, as Allie Bradley from News Nation. If you're just joining us, what an amazing conversation with Allie Bradley from News Nation, talking about someone who's literally a journalist on the border, has been on the border covering stories for over 3 years. That is a legit voice, a legit source of news. And she gave us a great idea and showed us what Sheriff Mark, the paperwork that Sheriff Mark presented to the Vice President about how he, as a law enforcement official, the top cop of Cochise County, views the border. How does he see it? How is it from his standpoint and his view, looking at it and being able to explain that to a politician at the highest level? Literally a politician at the highest level of their profession, being the Vice President of the United States and the presidential nominee for the Democratic Party. It's an absolutely outstanding time here. It was great talking to our good friend Elizabeth Tyndall, who is the Cochise County Democratic Party chairperson. And she is so excited to be here. She's so excited about the fun and everything that's going on. And so many people. The whole media row is... The lights are bright, and it is going to be a heck of a lot of fun. And a great camera here. How are you? Good to see you here. Who were you with?
The campaign.
Oh, that's awesome! Oh my gosh! So you follow the Vice President around?
I mean, yes. Yeah.
So you're her groupie or stalker?
No, not stalker.
I'm joking.
Just behind the camera.
This is a gorgeous camera, by the way, a beautiful rig. When you have footage like this, does this end up getting used in commercials?
Website.
Oh, in the website. I was going to say, have you ever had footage that you have taken that ended up like in a big campaign commercial?
Not yet. This is also my first one, so I'm new to the group.
This is your first one?
Yeah.
So this is your first stop is right here in Cochise County. Where did you fly in from today?
New York. Oh, New York.
It was
2 days ago.
Okay, so 2 days ago was on the East Coast, and then trying to avoid the storm that's coming up, barreling through the East Coast right now, and then
that.
making it over here. Do you feel like it's a dry heat here when you're outside?
Oh yeah, I love it. Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, congratulations on the new job and being here. Did you work for other news networks before? Or what camera experience did you have?
No,
did you do like concerts
a
or
lot.
music? Did you do the music videos?
Yeah,
or
a little bit.
the TikToks?
All the things. freelance, so you kind of do whatever you get into.
Freelance. I don't know what that's about, Todd.
Oh, yeah.
I freelance for his page. So,
Hi,
so
Todd.
this is exciting. Well, lovely to meet you. Thank you so much for being here. Good to see you, and nice to have some great friends here, and we've got the Herald Review Media folks right there. Hey guys.
Hey guys.
Thank you. I'm gonna give you a fist bump. Give you a fist. There we go. The air fist bump. Always great to see them. Again, my Wi-Fi is not working very well at the moment because I think everybody's on it and all these folks are getting ready to go live.
That's why I didn't go to Wi-Fi, because I thought that a lot of people would. So I'm just on my regular.
Really? Well, Todd, you have the Mac.
T-Mobile. T-Mobile's working good so far.
Well, that's great too. So I mean, okay. Oh gosh, that looks dangerous, Todd.
Uh-oh, I better get an up close to this.
Is there something on top of the flag? What's going on?
Got to get everything just right, I guess. I don't know what it would be, but
I'm not sure. And they definitely do have to get it right. I mean, there's so much media here. It is an entire riser full of media. When we talked to Allie Bradley from News Nation, I mean, that is just a snippet of probably literally dozens of news outlets who are here, and they are ready to go live and be a part of the fun here. This is an amazing opportunity. I see President J.D. Rottweiler of Cochise College. He is the outgoing president. He will be retiring either at the end of this year or the end of the school year. I'm not entirely certain of that, but very important people. And, of course, he is in the front row with Ron Barber, a former state senator for Arizona in the Pima County area, but he also represented us here in the Cochise County area for the district at the time, the way it was drawn up. He was our representative in Congress. I'm not sure if Juan Ciscomani is here today. I am not positive about that, but I do know that, I mean, looking around this room, I see people I know. Looks like Mark Rodriguez, Sierra Vista City Councilman, his wife Nancy, they are here. I said earlier that Ralph Robles from the Douglas Business Network is here, so there are residents of Douglas who are here for a day like this as well. With over almost 400 of you watching us live right now, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for being a part of this coverage here. This has been nonstop coverage. We thought we would just kind of cut in and cut out, but Todd, for some reason, Todd does not like to stop, and he just never stop. You never stop, Todd. You never stop.
I think it's the other way around, but you know what? It's all worked out. We got good people that we managed to talk to along the way here, and now he's on the phone while he's calling. He's like, wait, how many stripes are there on the flag? Do we have the right number of stripes? That's what he's calling right now. He has to phone a friend. He's like, it looks like the flag might be too tall. Can we make the flag shorter? That's what he's calling about right now. I'm perplexed. Or he's calling for Uber Eats to get some food backstage. He could be hungry. I'm thinking he might be hungry. Can we ask him to order something for us? I mean, I don't know. Not likely. Oh, you don't think so? What's wrong with these people? Well, again, we are hopefully just moments away from the vice president taking the stage, and at a certain point, I will bow out and Todd will take over, and because there's a certain trivia night back in Sierra Vista at 6 p.m. tonight. That's right. You got to make way every Friday. For that, every Friday. Every Friday. So thank you for plugging that. I appreciate it. So join Jeff for trivia at 6. Will you start
6.
What time? 6. Yeah, 6 o'clock. Yeah, so 6 o'clock. 6 o'clock on Friday. 6:30 on Wednesdays. And by the way, this past Wednesday at Native was a record-breaking night. There was 59 teams, which broke the record of 57, which was back during the summer of 2019, where we had just weeks and weeks and weeks in a row of 55, 52, 58, 50, or 57. 57 was the tops, and now we just broke that with 59. There were 59 maniacal teams playing Native game night on Wednesday night. And they must have fixed it. Whatever happened, he must have gotten it fixed, because now they're collapsing the ladder. The ladder is being collapsed. No, they're scooting it. Are they going to? Oh, no, they are going to collapse it. Okay, so they will take the ladder off the stage. He has a ring of duct tape around his arm, or some sort of tape. I don't know if duct tape is an actual, like they say, Scotch tape is a brand. I don't know, but he's got some big tape there. And maybe they were just trying to ensure that the part of the flag didn't droop down or fall, and making sure that it was secure on the top part. Oh my gosh, could you imagine? That would be insane. They don't want to have an embarrassing moment like that.
No, they wouldn't. Again, these people are professionals. You got professional camera people here. You've got the media, everybody from Allie Bradley from News Nation, all the way down the line to the Tucson stations. I saw KTAR, which is a Phoenix radio station that is here being represented as well. And this is quite a day, as the Vice President of the United States has been in Douglas for the last couple of hours, met with Mayor Clea McCall, met with Cochise County Sheriff Mark Daniels, I should say Sierra Vista Mayor Clea McCall, oh, and Donald Hewish. The Douglas Mayor Donald Hewish was in the room as well. So it was Mayor Donald Hewish, it was Mayor Clea McCall, it was Ann English, the Board of Supervisor, and the Vice President. What a crew. That would be a fun crew to hang out with, I'll tell you what. That would be amazing to hang out with people like that. Be sure to share this video around. Of course, leave love in the live chat. Again, no matter what your party affiliation is, as Jose Grijalva, the future mayor of Douglas, talked about, being here for something like this, it is an historic day to have a sitting vice president for the very first time in the history of these United States coming to Douglas, Arizona. We're so happy that she is here. We're happy that she's able to take time. And you can see the message is clear. The message is absolutely clear, Todd. Take a close look at the messaging. It is border security and stability. It is all about the border, and we believe that is what Vice President Harris will be discussing during this. It is a campaign rally. That's what this is. This is a rally that will be going out nationally. You can actually see this probably on the big three-letter news stations, from the alphabets to certain animals and other Atlanta-based organizations. They're all here. I promise you, they are all here, or they have representatives here, and they will be taking this footage and using this footage tonight on the news across the nation, around the world. And you're watching it live here on Cool FM Live with Jeff Davenport and Todd Ryan. What a day it has been, Todd. Coming down here, smooth sailing. It was a very easy day to come on down, no traffic. And by the way, again, hats off to Cochise College. I will not be able to say that enough. Thank you, Cochise College. This lighting rig, the lighting rig that is up here, this lighting rig is unbelievable. To have something as professional as this, to have this set up, I don't know how this happened or how they got it all done, but what an event. And I would love to talk to J.D. Rottweiler. I just don't want to bug the president of Cochise College. He was the first one that greeted former President Trump when he got off the plane at the Sierra Vista airport, and here he is in the front row for the vice president who is coming to his college, his school, that the last 15 years he has put together the plan to make sure that Cochise College is a college for the community, and they have done an outstanding job, a tremendous job here today. And thank you to all the law enforcement who are here in this place right now. I can see some of them. They are... Okay, so about to get started with the program here. The crowd is ready. The question is, are you ready? It is 4:16 p.m. here at Cochise College in Douglas, Arizona. But we're so glad you're watching and excited that you're here joining us for this coverage.
Top riders are here. This is reserved this spot, I guess, when she comes in for some press.
Oh, okay. Well,
let's do that right now if we can. Okay, there we go. Yeah, we got a little better view up here, and again, you can see all the way across everybody who's here to see the Vice President. We saw Sheriff Mark Daniels here earlier. We saw Mayor Clea McCall. We know Mayor Donald Hewish is here somewhere. We know former Congressman Ron Barber is here. The future mayor of Douglas, Jose Grijalva, is here. It is a who's who of an invitation-only event.
Please welcome Mayor of Douglas, Mayor Donald Hewish.
Donald Hewish coming to the stage. Filling out the end of his term. He decided to retire at the end of this term. What an honor for him to be here on this stage today.
see everybody here in our beautiful town of Douglas and our beautiful college of Mexico. President Harris to our community today. Many of my fellow board mayors are standing with Vice President Harris because of the solutions she continues to push for. She believes we must secure our border and fix our broken immigration system. She knows that takes care, attention, investment, which is why she's here today. The Vice President understands the need for a bipartisan solution to border issues because she's worked on border issues for a long time. She's a former border state prosecutor. Harris went after, while she was doing that, she went after the transnational gangs, and those that smuggled weapons and drugs across the U.S.-Mexico border as California Attorney General. That's not easy. But she was tough, and she's always been that way. And now, as Vice President, she helped bring border crossings to the lowest level in nearly 4 years. And I'm thrilled with the steps being taken to improve our port of entry here in Douglas as part of the bipartisan infrastructure law. That law was backed by Vice President Harris, which will stimulate our economy and be transformative for our community of Douglas. Vice President Kamala Harris knows what we're dealing with here in Arizona. Vice President Harris helped negotiate the bipartisan security bill, bringing together Republicans and Democrats to craft the toughest and fairest border policy our country has seen in decades. The deal would have helped bring order to the border, crack down on fentanyl coming into our country, and help keep us safe. It would have given us the orderly immigration system that communities like ours crave. It may not be perfect, but it definitely would have offered some much needed relief. But when it came for a vote, Congress didn't pass it. Well, here in Arizona, we want solutions. That's why Vice President Harris is here to offer. And Arizona should take that into consideration when voting in November. We welcome you. Welcome to Douglas. Enjoy your stay. We love you, and we'll always have a place in our heart for you.
Douglas Mayor Donald Hewish wrapping up some opening remarks, the very first person to speak here at this campaign rally for Vice President Kamala Harris. Here at Cochise College in Douglas, Arizona, you're watching Cool FM Live. It's Jeff Davenport and Todd Ryan hanging out with you today. We got our press credentials, and we are excited to be here as part of this event, along with a who's who of Cochise County royalty, if you will. From mayors to city council.
Welcome former District Attorney Tori Berger Salazar.
Tori Berger Salazar is here. Crowd pumped up here at Cochise College.
There was an arc there a little bit. So on your feet, ladies and gentlemen, stop the floor, clap your hands, let's do people.
Yes, we are. I agree with that 1,000%.
I have a chance to stop and talk to people, and they give me their time, their kindness, and their generosity. That's a reflection of this state. So thank you, Arizona, for everything you do. Now I have the great honor of being your Republican district attorney in San Joaquin County. We're not a wealthy county. 25% of the population of my community lives out of below the poverty level. We're not the Silicon Valley with billionaires. We're not San Francisco or LA. We're just working class people. I'm a lawyer and a small firm. Not having to deal with grades, everybody. Don't do it. But I know what it's like. I grew up in the south side of Stockton, a very tough community. And I dedicated my life to public service. And during that journey, way back in early 2000s, 2011 in particular, Vice President Harris became the Attorney General of the state of California. What a win for us. Now I'm going to tell you a little bit because I'm a lawyer and I like to put on the evidence and the facts because I think the truth does matter. And at the end, I think I'll prove to you beyond a reasonable doubt there is no better candidate for the president. There's more drugs, fentanyl, methamphetamines, heroin, PCP, guns, children being gunned down in the streets simply for playing in the park, and human trafficking. It seemed like every time we took a dent out of crime, they swung back. You have to realize, transnational organized crime, gangs, whatever you want to call them, they've got hundreds of billions of dollars. We have sheriffs and police chiefs begging for money, despite this war for us. So we were losing. There was no doubt about it. We were losing. And I went to her, just as a deputy district attorney. She didn't even have to take my call. She said, I'm the Attorney General. What are you doing here? No, she took my call. She's amazing. I said, I need some help. My county's struggling. What can you do? She said, bring me a plan. We brought her a plan. She was more prepared than anybody I've ever seen. She had bar none the most brilliant person in every meeting I've been to. Prosecuting murders for 35 years, and I'm never really afraid, but when I go to a meeting with her, I am. And she is smart, and she is driven. She's also very responsible. So we would go in with big grand plans of let's spend a lot of money, and then we'll fix it. And she said absolutely not. She watched every penny we spent. She micromanaged, if you will, every penny we spent to ensure that the money was spent wisely. Every day of her life, of her career, has been for the people, on behalf of the people, and doing better for the people. We got so bad out there. There was crime. It was unbelievable. All of a sudden, we were bringing in hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of kilos of heroin and methamphetamines. We were busting the guys on the street. We were busting the kingpins. And she was sending him away, and my office was sending him away to prison for a very, very long time. And he deserved it because they rained havoc on our community. Every family in America is struggling with addiction and mental health. Your neighbor, your friend, somebody in your family. And what she did is she said, people who need a helping hand when they're down on their luck, lift them up. And she said, and those who bring harm, bring the hammer. And I thought, that's pretty amazing. Pretty amazing. So a lot of times people talk about the joyous, but I'm here to tell you about the badass. So she is just amazing, and that's why I'm here. That's why because I'm a Republican, but I'm an American first and foremost. I sure as heck also bring the compassion and the understanding that we all fall down. And when we do, it sure is nice to have a helping hand. She is simply amazing. She's my friend, and I'm proud of all the work that she has accomplished. And I can never thank her enough for what she did for my community, San Joaquin County. She took guns off the street, narcotics off the streets, and she returned children who had been trafficked. She is nothing but amazing. So thank you, Arizona, for welcoming a California here. Thank you for your support. Sit down at your kitchen table, talk to your family and friends about her. I know sometimes it can get bumpy, but this is America. If it gets bumpy, it just means we're really passionate about America. That's awesome. So have those conversations, get people out to vote, make sure they understand the truth, and make sure they know this woman is just simply amazing. So thank you, and God bless you. And on the way out, let's give her up for Kamala.
The Republican prosecutor from California here, another opening act for the vice president before she comes out. It's Jeff Davenport live with Todd Ryan, hanging out here at Cochise College in Douglas, Arizona. As we await the vice president of the United States to take the stage for the very first time in America's history, a vice president coming to Douglas, Arizona. A sitting vice president, I should say, coming to Douglas, Arizona. And being able to be here for a moment like this, having the Douglas Mayor, Donald Hewish, be the opening act. What an honor that must have been for him in his final year of serving this great city, this great community that I have a pleasure of serving in many ways as well, emceeing some great events that go on here. You see the way the Douglas community loves this area, and they love each other. It is a who's who of who's here. Presidents, CEOs. Now it's karaoke time right here. I don't know if we're going to get stricken for this, so I'll just talk over it, or I'll sing along to it maybe, and sing like Smokey Robinson, so that way we don't have any sort of issues possibly with Facebook saying, oh, by the way, that song that you had playing in the background, I guess you'd say, what would make me feel this way to demonetize this video? We don't want to have that happen here today, but we're glad that you're watching and tuning in here for this historic day, a historic event. Media from literally all across the country, all around the globe. I see, now I can't think of his name. Hang on. I know him from KOLD. What's JD's name? I keep wanting to say JD Rottweiler, but it's not. JD Wallace, duh! I've got it right here on my phone, you know. I mean, I'm so embarrassed. Oh, and you're recording it. You're gonna show him that later. You're like, exactly. Jeff Davenport forgot your name, JD.
It's recording him. Text him.
I'll text him too. I got his number, like I said. He's like right there in my phone. How dare I not be able to get that off the top of my tongue. So JD Wallace hanging out here. I've got him and Dan Maurice, two of my friends from KOLD. I've got both their numbers. I can show you both of them. You know, I really am friends with them. I promise. I really am. But to be here today for an event like this with the work that was put in. First of all, thank you to all of our law enforcement that were outside. I've seen them walk along. You can kind of see the shadows actually up here in these windows. If you look up a little bit higher, Todd, those are windows right here that they have kind of blocked off with the air duct vent or whatever that is there. But I've seen shadows walk across that ledge right there. So we know that we're being protected on multiple levels, not just from Secret Service, but also local law enforcement agencies that make sure that we're all safe in this environment. And to be here knowing that we love our law enforcement, we love our first responders, we love our EMTs. We're so grateful for everyone who serves in that kind of way, in that capacity here in Cochise County and worldwide. And all across our nation, we're grateful for each and every one of you who serve our country in that way. Secondly, I want to talk about Cochise College. I am an alumni of Cochise College. Not necessarily this campus. I went to the Sierra Vista campus, but I come down here to cover Cochise College basketball games. You can see all of those banners right here along the side. Those are for all the different baseball, basketball, every banner. It goes all the way around here with the banners that you have for the number of championships that this team won. Not just ACC championships, but also national championships, district championships. It's unbelievable the amount of talent that comes through this particular campus in Douglas, Arizona, 10 miles outside of Douglas, Arizona. Here's this campus that gets worldwide recognition. There are players who come here from countries in Africa, from countries in Europe. They come representing, it's like a United Nations here in Sierra Vista, Todd. And being able to watch them play on this very floor. I will never look at this floor the same when I walk in here. I will be able to say, I was here in the same room as the Vice President of the United States at one point in time. And again, the message here, very clear. If you're just joining us, we have talked to so many people over the course of the last hour and a half, Todd. I don't even know how long we've been going, but we've been going for a while.
We started at about 3 o'clock, didn't we? Or a little after 3, I guess.
Then we've been going for about 90 minutes now, 90 minutes straight, a straight live feed. Hopefully what we can do is go back to this video once it's posted, like maybe piece out different interviews with the future mayor of Douglas, Jose Grijalva, with Ali Bradley from News Nation, who had some really important information about the way news is covered down here. She is someone who is a reporter on the border, a border reporter, if you will, for News Nation, and a fantastic, very energetic young woman who is in this amazing industry of bringing news to the world through the network of News Nation. We also talked to the Sierra Vista Mayor, Cleo McCall. I had a great conversation with him, and he told us that he, Sheriff Mark Daniels, Douglas Mayor Donald Hewish, Ann English, Board of County Supervisor, were in a room with Madam Vice President, Kamala Harris, as she landed. They met her at the airport. And what Ali Bradley showed us was what Sheriff Mark presented to the Vice President, showing the exact letter, the exact wording, everything that was presented to her to make sure that she understands where law enforcement stands when it comes to issues of border security and stability. You can see the sign. It's right there. And there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 border security and stability signs in this gymnasium here at Cochise College right now. Many people excited to be here to support the Vice President. Many people are here. Oh, the music is fading out. I wonder if they're going to introduce someone next. Who's coming out next? Who's next, Todd? Oh, no, they're just changing the Spotify playlist. That's all they were doing. Ain't no mountain high, ain't no valley low, but we are on a mountaintop high here in Douglas, Arizona, in the shadow of D Mountain, bringing you this live coverage here on Cool FM Live. Thank you so much for joining us. Believe it or not, I've got about maybe 10, 15 more minutes before I need to boogie on out, and Todd will take over everything from here. But my gosh, Todd, what a day we've had. We got to have some of the best food this morning at Culver's. And by the way, if you haven't seen the Custard Critic episode, you need to go see the Custard Critic episode, because that was one of the first videos that was posted this morning. And when you go and you leave a heart on that video, or a thumbs up on that video, or a comment on that video, you're going to be eligible to win a $25 gift card to Culver's. I believe the young lady's name was Brittany, who ended up winning, that we drew out. Mariah ended up drawing out Brittany's name as we talked to Mariah and Stacy at Culver's this morning about some exciting things happening there. The Critter Burger coming back on Tuesday, Todd, and we got a preview of it, man. We were one of the first people to actually eat the Critter Burger, I think, in the country. And then before it gets out to the public in Sierra Vista, you and I are chowing down on a Critter Burger. How awesome was that?
Yeah, it was sweet.
I think you're still smelling the onions on my breath from that. I apologize, because I'm like right in his face. And we also had brand new, released to Arizona only. What did you think of the mac and cheese, Todd? I'm sure you had it, right?
Mac and cheese, I have to be honest, it ranked up there as one of the best I've ever had.
Because it was rich but creamy.
Yes.
Right? Because sometimes you get rich, but it's just not as creamy as you think it would be. The cheese sauce that they use, it is the Culver's proprietary cheese sauce with their Wisconsin cheddar on top of perfectly baked macaroni, perfectly made macaroni. It is glorious, and that will be available starting on Monday at the Culver's in Sierra Vista on South Highway 92. You and your family can go enjoy some good mac and cheese as a side or just as a dish. We had people who were commenting. Todd read one of the comments and said, I'm reading this comment from this guy who says, I think I'm going to have mac and cheese and chili. What a great combination. Come on. That's going to be absolutely delicious and so much fun to stop by Culver's at your convenience. But again, mac and cheese, an Arizona only, an Arizona exclusive. Arizona is the test market for, maybe they're doing some sort of campaign chant. Sounds like they're saying not going back is what the chant sounds like. A little disorganized, but that's okay. Look, these folks are all excited. They're on the edges of their seats. They are ready to see the Vice President of the United States. I know you are. Oh, there we go. Now, yep. We also talked to the Cochise County Democratic Party Chair, Elizabeth Tyndall, my friend, about how the Democratic Party's outlook is going into November's election and the people that they are excited to support. One of those people, actually two of those people, are here in this crowd. Up in the front row is a good friend of mine, Teresa Walsh, who is running for the Cochise County Board of Supervisors District 1, as well as, I'm trying to find Ann Carl. She is running for Cochise County Treasurer. I know she is here as well. Usually you can't miss her when she's standing because Ann Carl is a very, very tall woman and very lovely, just awesome. These are two salt-of-the-earth people who just want to serve our county in an amazing way, and they are here, and obviously that was what Elizabeth Tyndall talked about as the Cochise County Democratic Party chairperson. And I see Dr. Sean Phillips from Canyon Vista Medical Center, the CEO, and he is sitting next to Cochise County and Sierra Vista royalty, none other than Hurricane Jane Strain is here, and hopefully she'll see this. And I always call her, look at everybody, it's stand back, there's a hurricane coming through, it's Hurricane Jane Strain. And we love Jane. I've known Jane for so many years, and she has more passion in her pinky than I do in my whole body. And I know that's hard to believe. You're like, Jeff, you're a very passionate person. You get excited about the dumbest. You get excited about custard, Jeff. We don't believe you that there's someone more excited than you are. I promise you, if you ever get to meet Jane Strain and talk to her, there's a reason why I call her the Hurricane. She just whirls around you, and she is absolutely awesome. She is one of the founding fathers, founding mothers, if you will, of Sierra Vista. A mayor's wife, Bob Strain, was the mayor of Sierra Vista for many, many years before Rick Mueller took over. So that was the succession. It was Bob Strain, Rick Mueller, and now Clea McCaw were the three previous mayors here, or not here in Douglas, but in Sierra Vista, because we're live at Cochise College in Douglas, Arizona. Many people here getting some love and hugs. I don't know. I don't recognize the people that gentleman is talking. I don't recognize that gentleman. I don't know who he's talking to. But Ron Barber is the man who looks like Colonel Sanders, sitting next to J.D. Rottweiler, the president of Cochise College, and Mrs. Rottweiler are here as well. And this is going to be something as we await the Vice President of the United States to take the stage.
Well, I just got a message that she is on campus. That was at 4:35.
Okay, so that was
so she is here.
Ago. That was about 7 minutes ago, 7 minutes ago.
So I would like to think that it's any moment now.
Well, the previous speaker made it sound like she was in the car and that she would be coming in any second. So being here, having our press pass, we got one for the Donald Trump event, and now we have one for this event. Todd, thank you so much for letting me be a part of this before everything gets chaotic and I got to boogie on out. But I just want to thank you for all the work that you do. If you guys could leave some love for Todd Ryan in the live chat. This guy does so much everywhere. This is your, second trip down to Douglas in 2 minutes because you were down here for the county fair opening up on Wednesday.
Yeah, the 100th edition of the county fair.
Isn't that amazing? 100 years. We get to see the century mark for the county fair in our lifetime, Todd.
Yeah, and they have a shark tank there.
Good. What?
Yeah, there's two sharks and a shark show kind of thing.
Oh my gosh!
They brought that down for for the 100th edition of the fair, and they have this big butterfly tent too. That's new as well.
Really, like with live butterflies.
Live butterflies. You can feed the butterflies.
Oh my gosh, that is so
two
cool.
new things there at the fair.
So you can enjoy all the fun of the Cochise County Fair all this weekend
in
over
Douglas.
at the fairgrounds in Douglas. Stop on by Leslie Canyon Road as you head through Douglas. You'll hang a left onto Pan American Highway, and then you'll see the signs, and you'll hang a left onto Leslie Canyon Road, drive about a mile down, and you'll find the parking spots and all the entrances for the Cochise County Fair, the 100th annual Cochise County Fair, 100 years of bringing joy to the county over these handfuls of days. We are excited that the fair is here. there's a big carnival there too. Sun Valley Rides is there. My good friend Steve Mattfelt is there. There are more journalists walking in right now, so I assume that they're going to be the ones who are sitting right here where we were before they booted us up to the second level here, which we have a better view anyway. But I believe these will be the journalists who are sitting here. So these, wow, my gosh, there's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. I'm seeing almost 20 journalists coming in with their rigs, with their entire camera rigs here.
I almost want us to. Should we jump up higher?
I don't know if we're allowed to go beyond this particular border, this barricade.
I don't know either.
But I mean, we're definitely. They're not going. They shouldn't be in our way because their cameras are going to be level like what hers is. And when I thought she said she was with the House media. She's with the White House media. It's literally reserved for WHTV. There's a sign over here that says That's White House television.
White House TV.
That's White House television. There's someone who works for the White House, Todd.
Oh, yeah, that's true. All right.
I know. How crazy is that? So White House TV, maybe they're part of White House TV as well. So they're going to have a couple of...
Your United States Senator from Arizona, Senator
Mark Kelly. Senator Kelly is here. Astronaut. Retired military. Mark Kelly.
Cochise County. Fantastic to be here. I love this county.
His wife was our congressman as well, Gabrielle Giffords.
We love you too. And Kathy Gifford sends her best. So Cochise County is a community that understands the realities of living, working, and doing business along our southern border. What does this do? This creates opportunities. Opportunities with cross-border trade and exchange that helps fuel the economy here and across our entire state. But here's the thing. It also creates some challenges. And we know that. But border communities and border states like Arizona deserve our leaders who are focused on solving those challenges. You know who that is? That is Vice President Kamala Harris. As Attorney General, she enforced the law and went after the cartels and traffic in drugs, guns, and in people. As Vice President, she helped us pass the bipartisan infrastructure law that finally will give the Douglas community a two-port solution. A modernized port for cars, for pedestrians, and then a new port for commercial cargo. Today, how this is going to cut wait times. It's going to create jobs. And it's going to reduce the flow of illegal drugs. And as Vice President, Kamala Harris helped negotiate the strongest, I'm going to say this again, the strongest border security deal and the deal that Arizona needs. What that means, what it would mean, is more Border Patrol agents, more Border Patrol federal pay, effective enforcement, and more fentanyl detection machines. Those machines would go here into Cochise County, into Douglas. Well, hold on a second. That's not the whole story. We were this close to getting this legislation passed. This close. But then what happened? I think we all know. Maybe not all of us. But at least some of you know what happened. Then Donald Trump told Republican senators that they had to vote no. This was the most hypocritical thing I have seen in 3.5 years in Washington. He said that he couldn't let this issue get fixed. He didn't want it fixed because he needed it for the election. And that's because he cares more about running for president than he does about communities like yours. He cares more about that than he does about Douglas, than he does about Nogales, and than he does about Yuma. He and not Douglas. Donald Trump likes to talk about problems. He doesn't want to solve the problems. But talk doesn't do anything for the state of Arizona. It does not. Our state needs action. And that's why we need Kamala Harris to be the next president of the United States. Took action to strengthen border security earlier this year. Now get this, illegal crossings are now at lower levels than when Donald Trump left office. And when Kamala Harris is president, we will work together to better secure our border, to stop the deadly flow of drugs into our communities, and to fix our broken immigration system. Say one more thing, folks. Winning elections, this is not rocket science. If it was, I could help.
Senator Mark Kelly, former astronaut.
Harder than the other side, so please knock on more doors, make more phone calls, work harder, and do what
Senator Mark Kelly. Getting a partial standing ovation from the audience here. Jeff Davenport live with Todd Ryan. And Todd, I got to check on out.
Yes, you do.
So I'm heading to Sierra Vista for High Heat Trivia Night tonight, 6 p.m. But for those of you who've been joining us this whole time, thank you so much for taking the time out of your day.
Attorney General Chris Mays.
Chris Mays is coming out next. She was in the room with the mayor, with the sheriff. And anyway, I'm going to get out of here. Thank you guys so much. Love you. Love you, Todd.
Thank you, Jeff. Appreciate it,
man. Keep up the good work. See you guys.
You know what I see when I look at you? I see victory in
dividing those votes. And after Trump and Vance killed the toughest and fairest border security bill in decades, the Biden administration took action. Vice President Harris took action because she knew that we couldn't wait for help here in Arizona and in other border communities. That's why she and the White House implemented new actions to keep our southern border from being overwhelmed, allowing the Border Patrol to maintain a secure, orderly, and humane process on the border. I'll tell you something else. She also called together attorneys general from across the country to the White House, including me, to talk about how we could tackle the fentanyl crisis. She did that her leadership. As the senator mentioned, thanks to the Biden-Harris administration's actions, we have seen a sharp decline in border crossings. In July, we saw the lowest number of crossings in years. That's what leadership means. The vice president gets it because she has worked on border issues for a long time. She has worked on these issues for a long time. I just watched her interact with Border Patrol and Customs. And you know, she asks extremely incisive, very good questions. Because guess what? She gets it. She has been doing this work for years. She is a former border state prosecutor, and she was once in my shoes as a border state attorney general. In fact, as California's AG, she led a delegation of state AGs to Mexico to combat transnational criminal organizations. She did that. As former district attorney, attorney general, and now vice president, Kamala Harris has spent her career taking on and prosecuting violent criminals and making our communities safer. And she will do that as our next president. The alternative could not be worse. Donald Trump and J.D. Vance do not care about fighting for a safe America. They said no to securing the border because they thought it would help them politically on every issue, from the economy to the border. They've made clear that they are in it for themselves, not for you. And so, I want to echo Senator Kelly on this front. Thank you, number one, for all you have already done for our democracy, for everything that you have done. And you know, races in Arizona can be close. Statements from me. By 280 votes, I think they don't call me landslide dates for nothing. Well, let me say this. We've got a few weeks until ballots drop, a few more weeks after that. We've got an amazing opportunity to put Kamala Harris in the White House. Let's get after it. Let's do everything we can.
We are live here at Cochise College in Douglas, Arizona, awaiting Kamala Harris, the Vice President and presidential candidate, to take the stage here finally. I think she's maybe coming up next. Yeah. Oh, yeah. They're getting the VP seal on the podium, so she is indeed coming up next. Stay tuned. Great crowd here, a lot of good energy here at the Douglas campus, Cochise College campus gymnasium. Some of the national press now coming down out front here, making their way. We thank you for joining us for our live stream coverage here on Cool FM Live. If you haven't followed our page, please do so. Cool FM Live, also on Instagram, Cool FM Online, and then our website, coolfmonline.com. Check it every day. And if you get a chance, listen to our classic hits radio station online as well at coolfmonline.com. And if you're in Cochise County in the Benson area, at 104.1 FM. Just kind of waiting for Kamala Harris to come out. By the way, we'll have sports coverage tonight. A number of live stream games tonight on Cool FM Live. We'll have the Wilcox game. Joaquin Harrell and myself, I'll be on the camera of that game in Wilcox tonight. The St. David and Valley Union game is tonight. We'll also have the Buena Colts game, and then Benson and Bisbee live from Bisbee tonight at 7 here on Cool FM Live as well. So all of those games, provided everything goes according to plan, will be on Cool FM Live as we cover as much sports as we can and as much football as we can across Cochise County. So excited about some fun games tonight. Senator Mark Kelly taking some selfies down here with the crowd. As the excitement is building, finally, for the appearance of Kamala Harris, the Vice President. Any moment now.
That's the truck out right there. Albert's coming.
Cool FM Live, they're getting all the flags ready here. I'm just trying to talk over the music because last thing I want right now is to have Facebook shut us down because the music's playing too loud and we don't have copyright rights to a song. So, pardon me if I talk and really don't say a lot. I'm just trying to cover up the music. Getting all the flags all straight here. Making sure everything looks real good. By the way, we'll be covering the Where They Buck bull riding event in Sierra Vista. Coming up tomorrow night at 7 at the Sierra Vista Riding Club. All right, here we go. Moment.
I'm also a single mom. I'm a single mom who lost her son after first losing my husband. My son Jacob died in 2020 at only 31 years old. He died from fentanyl poisoning after drugs he was taking turned out to be laced. He had enough fentanyl to kill 3 healthy people. Jacob was an avid tennis watcher and a dedicated cyclist. It was devastating when he died. It still is. Losing a child isn't something you get over. But I've made sure every single day since to make sure his death meant something, which is why I'm here today. When I heard what Vice President Harris had to say at the Oprah Town Hall, I knew she was going to be a fighter for me, for Jacob, and for families like ours who have lost our loved ones. Vice President Harris understands what fentanyl has done to families and to kids in this country. That's why she backed the bipartisan border deal, the one Trump tanked. That would have allowed us to stem the flow of fentanyl. And it's why she's here in Douglas, a town that my husband grew up in and where we have so much family. Thank you to all the folks here today for supporting me. I trust Harris to get the job done because she's done it. As Attorney General, she took on these drug cartels that smuggled drugs across the U.S. border. She protected people when it mattered most. She's here today because she cares about us. She cares about our families, and she cares about securing the border. Now, it's my honor to introduce Vice President Kamala Harris.
We had some time together backstage, and you know, I think that in moments of crisis, such as the fentanyl crisis, there are people who, through their suffering and their pain, rise with courage in such a selfless way to be a voice for others with the anticipation and the hope and the hard work of hoping that their story will be a reason other people don't have that story. And you sharing your story about Jacob and your advocacy on why we have to stop this scourge is so incredibly important. And again, I applaud you for I also want to thank the extraordinary elected officials who are here, Senator Mark Kelly, extraordinary life, Gabby Gibbons, traveled with me from Washington, D.C. to be here, and Senator Kelly has been talking to me for quite some time about the importance of this visit, and so I thank you in front of all of our friends for your work. Some of the work that I have done in my career as Attorney General, and watching her do the work that she has done as Attorney General really does emphasize the importance of having the right leader at the right time. I thank you for the warm welcome. We spent some time together. You shared with me the needs of your community, and I thank you for your leadership as well. And to all the elected and community leaders here today, thank you for taking the time out of your busy lives to be here this afternoon. Before I begin, I do want to say a few words about Hurricane Helene. I spoke this morning with our FEMA Administrator, Chris Well, and President Biden and I, of course, will continue to monitor the situation closely. We have mobilized more than 1,500 federal personnel to support those communities that have been impacted. We have food, water, generators that are ready for deployment. We are working to restore power for millions of people who currently are experiencing outages. And I just want to stress, and for the press that is here, to those who are watching, the storm continues to be dangerous and deadly, and lives have been lost, and the risk of flooding still remains high. So I continue to urge everyone to please continue to follow guidance from your local officials until we get past this moment. So thank you all, and now I'll speak about in particular the people who are here today and why we are gathered here together today. So Arizona, I think you all know this is why you are here. There are consequential issues at stake in this election. And one is the security of our border. The United States is a sovereign nation. And I believe we have a duty to set rules at our border and to enforce them. And I take that responsibility very seriously. We are also a nation of immigrants. The United States has been enriched by generations of people who have come from every corner of the world to contribute to our country and to become part of the American story. And so we must reform our immigration system to ensure that it works in an orderly way, that it is humane, and that it makes our country stronger. I spoke with dedicated agents from Border Patrol and Customs officers who every day see the overflow of commercial traffic through the border. These men and women who work there and at other places along our southern border help keep our nation secure. And they need more resources to do their jobs, which is why we have and are in the process of investing $500 million to modernize and expand port of entry here in Douglas. And why last December I helped raise the rate of overtime pay for border agents, and also why I strongly supported the comprehensive border security bill. Written last year, as you know, by a bipartisan group of senators, including one of the most conservative members of the United States Congress. That bill would have hired 1,500 more border agents and officers. It would have paid for 100 inspection machines to detect fentanyl that is killing tens of thousands of Americans every year. It would have allowed us to more quickly and effectively remove those who come here illegally, and it would have increased the number of immigration judges and asylum officers. It was the strongest border security bill we have seen in decades. It was endorsed by the Border Patrol Union, and it should be in effect today, producing results in real time right now for our country. He picked up the phone and called some friends in Congress and said, stop the bill. Because you see, he prefers to run on a problem instead of fixing a problem. And the American people deserve a president who cares more about border security than playing political games and their personal that as President of the United States, I will bring it back up and proudly sign it into law. that transnational criminal organizations cause, and the heartbreak and loss from the spread of their illicit drugs. I walked through tunnels that traffickers use to smuggle contraband into the United States. I've seen tunnels with walls as smooth as the walls of your living room, complete with lighting and air conditioning, making very clear that it is about an enterprise that is making a whole lot of money in the trafficking of guns, drugs, and human beings. And my knowledge on how they work comes from the fact that I have prosecuted transnational criminal organizations who traffic in guns, drugs, and human beings. My team and I broke up a heroin trafficking ring in the Bay Area with ties to Mexican cartels. We took down a gang working with the Sinaloa cartel to traffic methamphetamine into the United States. We seized millions of dollars worth of cocaine from the Guadalajara cartel and broke up a drug trafficking operation including pill mills and so-called recovery centers that were pushing opioids with deadly results. As Attorney General of California, it was 10 years ago that I brought a bipartisan group of American attorneys general and led that group to travel to Mexico City to meet with Mexican attorneys general to address this issue and in particular to increase intelligence sharing on gang activity, all of which allowed us to prosecute more human traffickers. And I started, as Attorney General, the first comprehensive report in the state of California analyzing transnational criminal organizations and the threats they pose to public safety and to the economy. So stopping transnational criminal organizations and strengthening our border is not new to me, and it is a long-standing priority of mine. I have done that work, and I will continue to do it. That I will reach across the aisle and I will embrace common sense approaches and new technologies to get the job done. Because I know transnational gangs coming across the border, trafficking in guns, drugs, and human beings could care less who somebody voted for in the last election. They could care less. They got one goal in mind. And it is therefore critically important that anybody who calls themselves a leader would work with other leaders for common sense solutions, understanding the pain and the suffering that Americans are experiencing if we don't work together to fix these problems. And look, transnational gangs, one of the things I know about them, they are always innovating. So to disrupt them, we must do the same. And that means, again, working together in real time, grounded on finding common sense approaches, not just about some rhetoric at a rally, but actually doing the work of fixing a problem. I will do more to secure our border. To reduce illegal border crossings, I will take further action to keep the border closed between ports of entry. Those who cross our borders unlawfully will be apprehended and removed and barred from re-entering for 5 years. We will pursue more severe criminal charges against repeat violators. And if someone does not make an asylum request at a legal point of entry and instead crosses our border unlawfully, they will be barred from receiving asylum. While we understand that many people are desperate to migrate to the United States, our system must be orderly and secure. And securing our border also means addressing the flow of fentanyl into our communities. Fentanyl is a scourge on our country. The nature of it as a drug is such that it is highly addictive and it is highly lethal. So much so that using it one time only can be fatal. I have met far too many families, parents, loved ones who have lost a family member, a child, to fentanyl. And their grief is heartbreaking. And the devastation caused by fentanyl is being felt from rural communities to big cities. It's impacting communities across our country, regardless of where they are geographically, politically, or any other demographic you choose to talk about. It's a scourge in our country, and we have to take it seriously. And as president, I will make it a top priority to disrupt the flow of fentanyl coming into the United States. That most of the fentanyl in America comes from two cartels based in Mexico. Most often, they are smuggling it through vehicles at legal ports of entry, like the one I visited today. The fact is, border officers don't have enough resources and are only able to search a fraction of the vehicles that pass through their checkpoints. This is unacceptable. They need the resources to do their jobs. And as we could have done with that border security bill, I will surge support to law enforcement agencies on the front lines, more personnel, more training, and more technology, including 100 new inspection systems that can detect fentanyl hidden in vehicles. And we will make sure that our ports of entry, including airports and seaports, have additional state-of-the-art technology to detect fentanyl and the chemical tools used to make it. I will also double the resources for the Department of Justice to extradite and prosecute transnational criminal organizations and the cartels. Global fentanyl supply chain, because we must materially and sustainably disrupt the flow of illicit fentanyl coming into our country. My approach takes into account also that the precursor chemicals used to make fentanyl are by and large made in China and then shipped to Mexican cartels and trafficked right here into the United States. Our administration demanded that China crack down on the companies that make those chemicals, and it has started to happen. But they need to do more. And as president, I will hold them to their commitment to significantly reduce the flow of precursor chemicals coming from China. We must tackle this issue from every angle, because our highest charge must be to protect the lives of our people. It must be to understand the pain and to have the courage to know that solutions are at hand if we focus on fixing a problem instead of running on a problem. And on this issue, writ large, large, we must ensure that our country remains strong and competitive, which includes fixing our broken immigration system. And let me be clear, I reject the false choice. I reject the false choice that suggests we must either choose between securing our border or creating a system of immigration that is safe, orderly, and humane. We can and we must do both. Clear legal pathways for people seeking to come into our country. And we must make our current system work better. For example, it can take years for asylum claims to be decided. Well, this is a problem we can solve, including by hiring more asylum officers and expanding processing centers in people's home countries. And as president, I will work with Congress to create, at long last, a pathway to citizenship for hardworking immigrants who have been here for years. And this problem has gone unsolved at this point now for decades. The same goes for farm workers, who ensure that we have food on our tables and they too have been in legal limbo for years because politicians have refused to come together to fix our broken immigration system. Well, as president, I will put politics aside to fix our immigration system and find solutions to problems which have persisted for far too long. For far too long. And so, as I said at the beginning, these issues are highly consequential for our nation. And the contrast in this election is clear. It is a choice between common sense solutions and the same old political games. In the 4 years that Donald Trump was president, he did nothing to fix our broken immigration system. He did not solve the shortage of immigration judges. He did not solve the shortage of border agents. He did not create lawful pathways into our nation. He did nothing to address an outdated asylum system and did not work with other governments in our hemisphere to deal with what clearly is also a regional challenge. As overdoses went up during his presidency, he fought to slash funding for the fight against fentanyl. And what did he do instead? Well, let's talk about that. He separated families. He ripped toddlers out of their mother's arms, put children in cages, and tried to end protections for dreamers. He made the challenges at the border worse. And he is still fanning the flames of fear and division. And let me be clear, that is not the work of a leader. That is not the work of a leader. And that is, in fact, I think we all believe, an abdication of leadership. And so on behalf of all see these problems solved. I say, we cannot accept Donald Trump's failure to lead. We should not permit scapegoating instead of solutions. And let's see what's happening. Let's not permit scapegoating instead of solutions, or rhetoric instead of results. As your president, I will protect our nation's sovereignty, secure our border, and work to fix our broken system of immigration. And I will partner with Democrats, Republicans, and Independents to do it. Arizona, it is time for us to turn the page on the ugly battles that have characterized our politics. And it is time to move forward together to achieve real solutions that make our country stronger. And I know we can get this done. I know we have the will. I know we have the courage. I know the solutions are at hand. And I know we are ready.
And there you have it, folks. Vice President Kamala Harris addressing the crowd here at Cochise College Gymnasium. Thank you all for joining our live stream coverage here on Cool FM Live.
Yeah, I was